Getting everything together. All right. You like that so that you can see. You can see. And let me get the clock app ready to go. All right. We'll let some folks not jump date. Why? Why does my Hump Day? Good Lord. Y'all help me. Oh, let me. Nope. Focus. There we go. That should help. Oh, I have a couple books ready. Okay. Trying to figure out the best way to do this. Alrighty. Hope you're not going to go any lower. All right. We'll do that. Does that look good? All right. Morning, Bo. Well, I appreciate that because we're getting to the end of Pride Month and I need to set up the auction for that little bag. I also need to put my music on so I'm not lost in my mind. That is a labyrinth of Morning, folks. Oh, I had an early Charlie attack. Hi, baby. I know. Hey, like that kiss. Hey, hey, hey. Thank you. Be such a good boy. Yes. Now, why don't you come over here and flop down and get me some more followers? Oh, God. I have started 4 horror movies in the last week and not finished them because they are just not good. I did find a really, really, really good one that I enjoyed. Who will save your soul, Jewel? That is the question. Oh, I guess I should hit play. Oh God. Okay, there we go. I can hear it, and y'all can barely hear it. Okay. Good morning, Bo. Charlie. Bo, say good morning. Huh? Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for the kiss. I appreciate it. Yeah. You forgive me for not letting you outside today? Because boy, did you try. Stop rubbing your face there. That's not a place. That's not for you. They did not put this here and go, yes, this will be the perfect thing for the kids to rub their face on. That was not for you. God, I gotta get a new chair. Okay. I don't know if I have any of my hardware for this. Let me see what I need. All right. Morning, Casey. See, Casey said good morning. Come on. No, you're just gonna sit there like a little asshole, aren't you? You're my cute little baby boy. I'll make people think I'm talking to myself. I'm not far off. All right, let me see what I got here. Where did that little piece go? I guess I'm making up my own. Because I never really cut out this one piece. Oh, hey, I found my laminated corner piece for the wallets. Good morning, Casey. So I am making what is called the congoer from Beauty and Geek Patterns. I'm going to attempt to. I might have to search for something. It is this really cute lanyard piece. It's kind of like a convention wallet. So it's big enough that you can slide in your badge, your congoing. your convention badge. So it's got a clear pocket. And then the other side has a little tiny zipper. So if you want to keep change or something in it, or your hopes and dreams, I don't know, it's your tiny pocket. You do what you want to do. And then it also has card slots, and it'll have a little cover over it. I did not do that on purpose, but that is hilarious. Okay. I do it a little bit differently than she does. Hi, could we not climb over the machine this morning? Thank you. Oh, somewhere. Oh, there's all my pins. I've been missing my. Okay, so this is my little caddy. I absolutely love it. I think I got it at Joann's. It sits next to me because it's got all the little perfect pockets and stuff that I can put random things, glue sticks, super glue. Leave your sister alone. My little stapler with apparently my fake nails when they come off. I remember that one. That one was cute. Oh, that was the dragon fruit one. I don't know if this is gross or not, but we'll figure it out later. But the pockets have different depths when it comes to these. So I keep different things in different pockets. The inside is perfect for my scissors in that because it's a deep recessed one. The problem is if I miss this part, it goes in here, where apparently all of my pins that I've been looking for have gone. Oh, I wondered where they all went. Now what's... No, I can't reach. Oh. Swear these tweezers have paid for themselves over and over. And if I can find a way to manufacture rainbow tweezers just like this, I will do so. For cats, I feel your every once in a while I have a new person or new follower who's like, is she yelling at her kids? And like, nah, it's just their cats. Because I yell at them like they're children. Leave your sister alone. What are you doing? Put that out of your mouth. No, that's for Lens. I looked over it and I don't mind it. It's already how I envisioned doing a double zippered wallet using the classic zip around because I like the size of the zip around. So I'm not unhappy. I mean, let's do this. Oh, sorry. I woke up with apparently all of nature in my nose. Let me see. So now I don't need some of these pins over here. And with heat erase pens, you want to keep a lid on them because they will dry out. There we go. Oh, diamonds and pearls. Okay, shoot. I'm trying to figure out where I put... What scent is this? It's a little heady. That's probably why it's not in the wallflower. Okay, so it's not over here. It's not over there. I guess I am... Doggone it. On there. Winging it. Because I don't know where the pattern piece is, and that's fine. Oh. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. Good morning. Yes, LT, I just watched a part of Brandy Jackson's video sewing up the double zip. And it's got a similar construction to what I was, what stuff is turning on my machine. I was thinking of. They're in my notes. But I was thinking of doing a double zip. The problem is right now I can't. I can't focus on any extracurricular activities as it stands because I have to get, oh, good. I have to get this done. I've got so much to do. I have 10 ETA bags that are already getting cut out as we speak. Yay. And oh, I have the pattern. Sorry, I am still trying to wake up. So yeah, I'm trying to make sure that I get those done. I want to do 5 Twilight bags, as well as one for each of the Carpet Royalty line. So that's another 15 bags after the 10 ETA bags. And I've got to get that done by mid-July so that I can spend 2 weeks making other stuff that I've got to get done too, because I really should make some more of these for the convention. Oh no, I was able to find Tanisha's page. Yeah, you sent me the one of the, what are they called on the clock app? Because I know they're reels on the gram. Anyways, you showed me one of their posts. What fell? I heard something fall. And I was able to find her. And in fact, she just followed me back. So that's awesome. Yay. Always happy. Plus, y'all. Oh my Lord. My order from Cosmic, I got the notification and I'm so excited. And then I looked at the order and I think the blood drained from my face because it is a big order I did, because it was her vinyl rerun. And on her vinyl rerun, that's when I really plugged down some money. Hi, Amy. Oh, Cynthia's the best. Okay. She really is. She's just one of the best. But I also have my strikes coming in from from Night Till Dawn, which it's Inuyasha, y'all. And why is it so hard to find the bottom of Kiara's foot, the little fox demon? I want to do a reverse applique with toe beans, but I want to make sure I get the right toe beans. So are Kiara's toe beans like dog toe beans? Are they cat toe beans? Are they weasel toe beans? Are they just whatever the hell was drawn toe beans? But I can't find the bottom of her paw and it's driving me nuts. So Bo asked what pattern I'm using for the ETA bag. And also, good morning, Australia and West Virginia. I've been to West Virginia. Never been to Australia. I'm terrified of it. Listen, I know that country is absolutely beautiful, but there's just too many spiders. I am too terrified. I don't scream at the ones on TV anymore, but I do still not handle it well. The pattern I'm using is the, hang on, I got it right over here. It's the one I used on my live. It's the Twilight Traveler. So for that, I put a pocket on the back. And then I did the front clear pocket. And I just did a regular slip pocket here with heat transfer vinyl on the back of this to keep this from being too thick. It also makes it a lot easier to put it together. Now the front is a little bit squishier than I like, but then Erin pointed out that if when people are putting their pins in, it's going to give it some more stiffness because they'll use an insert. Oh, no. There's a cup. There's the Maru ETA bag. I'm trying to remember who that one's by. I have it, so it's somewhere around here. But I didn't like how they did the ETA window anyways. That's on me. that's a whole thing with me, but we'll see how these go, of course. That's what I was going to do. I need a zipper pull. Where are you at, zipper pulls? We're going to use one of these. Okay, that might work. Cool. I think I got everything I need right here. Okay. Oh, like I said, my allergies are just awful to me today. Okay, so I'm going through this in my head. It's been a while since I've made it, but oh, where are you going? You are like the perfect length. Stop. And I made sure last night to charge my zapper. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but you can't use this when it's charging. Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do, Casey, is just like whatever looks cutest. Because whenever I get strikes in, I like to do something a little bit over the top to show off the fabric a bit more to cause comments, because then that helps it to be seen. Okay. Which is what strike artists are meant to do, is help the fabric. I have the purple one. Oh, yeah. But I don't understand what you were saying about the bitty bag. Cynthia, what were you meaning with the bitty bag pack? Oh, yes. I love these so much. It's like a pretty blue, but it's almost purple. Like, it looks very blue on the screen right now for a clock, but everybody else, it looks a little blue. So I don't know. Maybe it's just the camera. So with the window piece, I put an extra 1/4 inch on the top because I like to hide. Oh, okay. I like to hide this. I don't like feeling the edge of the clear vinyl. There we go. I'm sorry, y'all. Words apparently are going to be really hard. So then I put that vinyl piece up against a line that I drew, and then I drew another line further down to fold it to. Let me see. Because these are my own measurements, so that's what I thought. Yeah, so I drew a 1/4 inch, and that's what I put the clear vinyl to. And then I drew a 1/2 inch, and that's what I'm folding it down to. I'm just going to top stitch that real quick. At 1/8 of an inch. Ooh. You should have seen me last year. I took a pre-order for pickup, and I think I ended up doing like 30 of these. And it was, it actually wasn't bad. But that's because all the steps are really quick. But today is also nail day. And I think I have an idea of what I want to do for my nails, but I'm still thinking about it. So that's top stitch. You need a zipper. I usually get one at least the length of it because you can cut it down. You need a zipper pull. I use a swivel clip. I wish I had one a little bit smaller. But I'll just sew straight up the middle of this, and that'll keep it from being too floppy. Checking everybody here. This piece right here, if by the way, is the piece that I cut out of the zipper pocket, because I do a 1/2 inch hole to show off more of the zipper. In the pattern, she has little, like, the credit card holders snap. What you do is you sew this in, then you put the clasp on, and then you sew over it this way. I don't like the clasp being sewn down that way, as well as I don't like the swivel clip being part of that, because I feel like everything's going to get pulled and worn quicker. So I like having a separate piece. So you'll see that when I put it in. It's not a bad idea. It's just not how I do it. Okay, Cracker Jacks. And now I'm going to have to draw this on. That is so frustrating. I bet you it fell somewhere and I didn't put, oh, sorry, back. Sorry about that. That was me. Because it usually gets pulled out on accident. I could have printed it up, but I will only do that if I'm going to do a bunch of others. So I'll just draw the line for it. It'll be fine. It will be fine. Make sure that I've got that on. Okay, so zipper, swivel clasp, this, and then you need a strip of some sort of non-fraying, very thin fabric. I know Lynn's uses it's lawn something, but it's very, very thin. I got this stuff about what are we in for? So yeah, like 3 years ago. You're supposed to be able to make reusable bags with it. So it's really thin and it's really durable. So I know it won't tear. You can also use ribbon. Just make sure the ribbon you get is the width that you need, and that it doesn't have the wire in the sides. You could, with the wire, it would flatten it pretty well, but I don't know how good of an idea it is to have that, because then you have to sew over that wire. Ripstop canvas is also not a bad idea. You just have to be careful because some ripstop does fray. No, it's actually a lawn guard that you put in words that you put in a garden bed and then start. It's lawn something. Man, that's gonna bug me. I know somebody will. Weed barrier, something to that effect. But I know it's lawn something. Now I'm not always smart on the thought processes. But it's very thin. The problem is for me, I think it might rip over time. So landscape fabric. See, it was lawn something. Chupa thingy. If there's red versus blue fans, you will know chupa thingy. Yes, landscape fabric. Thank you, for the love of Pete. I'm apparently in need of so much caffeine that all I plan to drink today is coffee, Diet Mountain Dew, and iced tea. I have some on the porch. Mariana to the rescue. Good morning. Thank you. Okay, so now the good thing is, what's really neat is that Beauty and Geek also has cut and sew for this pattern as well. So all you have to do is just cut it out. And she did a really, really cool job of the placement for some things, so that when you're looking through the little window, if it's not filled, it has like Luffy and the wanted poster. She even put stuff down so that it would fit properly and things. Yes, you betcha. Sun tea every day. Beautiful. I am making it's called a congoer. It's a convention pouch that will allow you to have your convention badge in the clear pocket while still be able to roll around with your credit cards, and it even has a little tiny pocket. For these, I use one of my vinyl tags so that I can just kind of pluck it in there and then sew it down. I don't like them to be too obtrusive. Right about there will be fine. Yeah, okay. All right. So let's do this. So I already have when I cut out my pattern, I punched the holes wrong, so I have to do all of this extra stuff. Bo, it also might be called weed barrier too. But I know that she calls it landscape fabric. But yeah, Yimi, I get the tea going in the morning. It's part of my morning stuff because that pitcher of tea don't last the day, or just barely lasts the day. There's a little bit of leftover in the fridge, but it don't last long enough to taste old. Let's just say that. So I have all my holes punched except for this one right here, and that's because I use little plastic snaps to keep the cost of this down. I also like plastic snaps because they don't rust. Just make sure you do a high quality one so that it can take being opened over and over again. I need to find those. As my brain goes into 404 mode. But I do have a piece of tape underneath each of my pockets. Now I went lower than the line. I went like lower than the 1/8 where I'm going to be sewing. So I'm not sewing through this tape. You don't really need the tape. The tape is there to keep it from moving. You don't even have to use the tape if you don't want. So Bo asked if I do anything extra with my plastic snaps. Not usually. In fact, that's a good idea. Where'd you go? Where's my scraps? Oops. I'm working on getting Aaron to make me. I saw you in there. There you are. Make me a little jar so I can put like these tiny little cut up pieces that I use for backing in them. So this way I just open the jar and take it out and put it in. But we had the Baroness was throwing a small fit, but the Baroness wasn't the one throwing the fit. It was the filament. So that should be fixed now. We got a drying chamber for it. Sure. So that one's going to be for the back of that. I usually do put a little piece of something like foam. That doesn't go in there. A little piece of like foam or Decoville Heavy, something behind the snap to kind of beef it up a little bit, but you don't want to go too far with that because if you do, you're putting too much in between it. So you might need, it might be that the post on it's too short. It's a lot like a rivet. If the post isn't long enough, then it's going to do that. Where is, there you are. Just trying to get everything together here. Here we go. We're going to use this side. So I've got a piece of this self-adhesive fleece from Beauty and Geek that she had sent me to try out. And I really must say, I do love it. Okay, so we're going to go there. So normally what I do is I draw on that pattern piece. But I think what I'm going to do this time is just trim this down to the length I need. Only because I can't find that bleeding pattern piece. Can't even get words out again. Well, I'm going to need those later. I have to do zipper tucking tonight. That's for sure. They're, Aaron looked at the table this morning, was like, how is your little army going to get? He said he could not sleep on the couch the other night because he was afraid of the little army of wallets. He's my special guy, that's for sure. He's like, there's just so many of them. I'm like, okay, I'll take that as a hint that you want me to take care of them. Okay, I'm not doing quite 1 inch. Again, the pattern piece has its measurements on it. There it is. Okay. Where are my snaps? I'll need that. No, I put them in a drawer over here somewhere. It's just a matter of finding them. No. Maybe. Or I left them out somewhere. Son of a motherless goat. Okay, let me figure this out. And usually I like sewing them together and then cutting it down. That's a good idea. So what I'm going to do is now sew it together, and then I'm going to clip the corners. And that's pretty much all you're doing for the first step, is just sewing this together. But I draw mine on, sew around the drawn piece, and then I cut them out together. This is a great place if you want to edge coat. There are some things like this that I don't edge coat because it's going to add time to the project. And the longer it takes me to do a project, there we go. Oh, I might have actually put that nicely. The longer it takes me to do a project, obviously, the more I end up having to charge. So if I can keep something quick, the materials light, then it can be in the lower charged area. And yeah, there you go. Now what we're going to do, it doesn't really matter what your top looks like, but I can see, okay, see where my pieces shifted. And it's because I didn't have them taped down. I usually tape them down. There we go. And I just kind of run my fingers along the sides, make sure everything feels nice, because this is going to be kept raw. This is the raw edged version. She does have, I was like, where did this cutter come from? It's just how my morning is, y'all. She does have a fabric version as well, and that's the one I linked in my link tree, is the one that has both patterns. You might as well just grab both because of the fact that it is a domestic friendly vinyl one, but if you have fabrics that you want to use, again, she has a really good one for that walks you through even the card slots. Like the whole thing can be made with fabric. And that Snap said, no, ma'am. Oh, I hate when Snaps talk back to you. Somewhere around here are my Snaps, and I thought I put them back. And you know what happens when you think you put something up, you probably didn't. Okay. The good news is that it's easy to add it a little bit later, and I'm trying to think of where I might have some spares down here. Do I? What's in here? What's in the mystery buckets? So I used to do Home Chef, and way back in the day, They would put your ingredients in these little tubs, and you know us crafters, we can't throw this away. Look at it. Look at its tiny amazingness. It is so cute. It does say sewing feet on there. So we have a little container of domestic sewing feet and a random, I don't know what that is, but it was in here. So we're just going to leave it in there. There we go. So that goes back in the drawer. What's in this one? That does not sound like buttons. Nope. That is grommet piecings. Yep. Hand hammering grommets. Because sometimes I don't trust the press. That's going to go on the floor for the moment. And this is button covering. Let me tell you how old this button covering kit is. This kit is back from, let's see, 30, yeah, about 2005. Maybe even older than that. Got a couple buttons even in here. Nice. Because when you are doing Renaissance costume making, you don't just buy your buttons. All right, so that wasn't useful, and the other one wasn't useful, and I thought I had extras, but apparently I just have a drawer full of nonsense. Hold, please. Just look at the little dinosaurs. He will keep you company. Somewhere in this room, y'all, is a whole bucket, and I say a whole bucket, but I do need to order more. I did a whole bunch of these congoers at one point, and now I am out. Nope. Oh, fun. I found a bag full of unfinished zipper thingies. Chupa thingy. Nope. Nope. I know they're somewhere around here. They've got to be. I just used them recently. Why didn't I put them away? That is coffee. We'll have to clean that up. Ooh, what's in there? Oh, don't get distracted. Maybe in one of these drawers? Nope. Scraps. Ooh, scraps. Nope. Nope. Like, seriously. This is, it's not even a small container, y'all. It's not an itty bitty thing. It is a large-ish container. It's not like I could have just put it in a drawer and forgotten about it. Are you on the cart? Cart, maybe? Are you on this cart, maybe? Why do I have so many carts? Oh, I'm going to need that. Perhaps. In the top part of the cart? Nope. Y'all, fairies done took them. Holy crap. Where? They've got to be somewhere in here, though. You know what would have been amazing? If I had looked for them before I started this video. Now, I'm usually much more organized than this. I mean, that's not a complete lie. Oh. I bet I know where you are. Nope. Nope. You in here? Nope. 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 Son of a bitch. Are you kidding me? Okay. This is ridiculous. Oh, I know where they are. Come on. Yes. I put them away. I just, I reorganize stuff. So, damn. I'm telling you, man. I blame everything on the berries. But yeah, these I got ages ago. I don't even know when. And I've been slowly going through them. And it's because there was like 360 sets in here, it says. So, oh, maybe next week maybe Saturday we'll go through this pattern. Which pattern is this? Oh, the zippered ID case. Yes. I cut out 200 of these. Got about 55 of them done like 4 years ago. No, oh, ow. Oh, is that this house? Not the last house, the house before that. So in 2018, I cut out 100 of these, got 55 of them done, and then did another bunch of them while I was at the hotel. So every night I was sewing more of them. And then this is what's left, and they keep getting shuffled around. So that might be our Saturday project. But now it's in the corner and probably will be forgotten. Okay. So, yeah, you get a rounded tip. Except that doesn't look round. What I need to find is one of those cutters and the leather punches. There we go. With just the right round tip. That's better. Okay. Because I can become hyper focused on getting this cut just right. Thank you, Ziddy. I am so happy I found this too. Because I know it's probably coming into my voice, but I get very frustrated when something just isn't where it should be. And it really was. I have a door organizer that has these weird pockets that I put stuff on, and somehow I forget about it. But this is about what I got left. Blue it is. Do I have enough of the yellow? Oh, I have enough of the yellow. Yeah, let's do the yellow. I think that yellow will look really pretty with it. It's another reason I love these tweezers. Okay. I do love these. I have not had any issues with these popping off as long as I know that I've done everything I'm supposed to do. Yeah, I'll have to find it. Because I got it at Black Friday, which means it should be on Amazon, and it's a really, really neat thing too. I love it because it actually has 3D pockets that come out a bit. So I'm going to set these over here. Stay. So now the drama is done. Good Lord. So I do have that piece of fleece right there in the bottom area. So I'm going to make sure that I'm punching through that. I'm also kind of making sure that if you have a really thick vinyl when you do this, don't put any interfacing in it, because that's another issue too. You've got to find that sweet spot of what feels right. Come on. But I'll make sure to put these snaps in the Amazon cart or list. And I just use my tweezers because they're very sharp. She has placement, of course, on the pattern. Though I might have to... Nope, they're going through. Okay. This is how I make the tiniest of tiny holes, because the less hole, the less it has a chance to wiggle around. So you want to have to really push into that to make sure that it's nice and tight. And there's just that little bit left. So it needs enough overhang for it to push down over it. I'm going to set those. Oh, good. Yes, no face. You can hold those for me. Everyone help me remember, no face is holding so I don't freak out. Oh, what is that? What is this? There we go. Okay. I put the tool away because I'm like, well, I guess I'm never doing that again. Come. There we go. Again, sometimes the nails are not my friend when it comes to sewing stuff. All right. And I make sure it's squished down really well. So yeah, it needs that pressure, and it needs just enough of that nub, because what it's doing is it's taking that little bit of nub and it's squishing it down so that it covers up the hole. Where you want. And that's what sometimes happens is if you have too much, it come here. If you have too much of it, wait, where are my tweezers? There we go. So if you have too much of this hole or too much fabric, then you're not going to have enough plastic for it to cover this little hole right here. Whereas if you don't have enough, or if you have too much, it's going to push it around, and it's not going to want to latch onto its friend. Stay. Okay, so we've got that taken care of. I put on the other side of the nubbins after I've got everything set up on my card slots, because I don't want this to cause a problem with sewing everything. Okay. Oh. So then I take my pocket that has the clear window. As you can see, I've already folded that over, so that's taken care of. And now I'm going to sew around the hole so that it secures that. Now I am going to turn my stitch length down a little bit because there's curves. And this is what I call an applique construction, where it's not really going to get pulled on anything. Do I want to do that? Sorry, I'm trying to decide how. No, I like the other way. Okay. So I'm starting at the bottom. I'm going to back stitch. I'm going to stitch, back stitch, and stitch. Because though it's an applique construction, I still want to make sure I don't feel the need to pull back my threads. But a shorter stitch length allows me to go around those curves. Oh, I see you already trying to do something. Make sure if you have a stretchy vinyl that you're not skewing your pocket. It is kind of easy to do. But with a shorter stitch length, you have this chance to go around these curves and have it look smooth instead of jagged. Oma, thank you. Landscaping material. Believe me, it was. I knew some of y'all were going to help me out with that, because I will tell you right now that was going to make my brain hurt for hours. Okay, just one little back stitch does it. I am going to pull the threads back though, just so that I can seal them with my thread zapper on the back. So, ta-da! And then you can see on the back. Okay. Yeah, I did these fast one day with a lighter thing, and I had to redo them all because everything went like this. Oh, but that's why I secured everything first with folding over and doing the top stitching there. Oh, I've got leftover pizza for lunch. And then I go get my nails done. And I think we're going to do breakfast for dinner. Because I still got some tortillas, so I can make some egg burritos. What are you doing? Let's see what you're doing. Fine, we'll do it this way. I don't mind thread zapping stuff on the front, except when it comes to like top stitching. Mainly because I'm always concerned that I'm going to mark my front, and I don't want to do that. There we go. I usually zap and then kind of press down on it. All right, so that part's done. So I do not top stitch this front to it just yet. Candy cane. I am making what's called a congoer. So one side has this clear pocket so that you can put your convention badge in and carry it around. And then the other side will have, it has card slots and a little zippered pocket. And it'll have a swivel hook so that you can just put it onto a lanyard and carry it around. Actually, good Lord, I had a bunch of cosplayers. Like there was like a roving group of y'all just like running through, and somebody was like, "Oh, this is cute," and then they bought all of them because they could hook them onto little things that they already had, and it made it to where it didn't it wasn't obtrusive to your cosplay, or like a couple of them had like springy God, those really old school bracelets and hair ties that are plastic and it's a spiral. Apparently, I have absolutely no access to my vocabulary today. This is fantastic. And she hooked hers onto one of hers, or onto her bracelet, and then she was able to take it off and give it to her handler when she was asked for pictures. It was fantastic. I was like, that's freaking brilliant. And now I'm scared that I'm not going to have enough of these again. but I'm going to match it up as best as I can. You're probably going to end up trimming because even with the SVG files, depending on your vinyls, honestly, the best advice I can give you if you're going to make these for production is to do this part with a contrast vinyl, with something that matches it, but you have a lot of, or is just the right size of scrap, because this is all you're really seeing of it. So it's not a big deal if it doesn't quite, if it's not made of the same vinyl or fabric. In this case, I did use technically the same design, but it's a different vinyl. So this has like a pebbled, and then this is smooth. So this is an older version of this vinyl. The reason I went ahead and did that is because I kind of like that there's two different textures. And the same is for this. So these two are the same texture, and then the rest is this texture, which I guess technically has no texture. Is smooth a texture? I think smooth is a texture. So it has a different texture. I like different textures on things, and I know a lot of other people do as well, but it's not an overtly obtrusive texture either. But I had these scraps, and I'm like, well, let me use those. That way I can quickly make her badge. What I'm going to try doing is to kind of help it not move too much. I'm not going to use tape, and you want to be very careful about how much glue you use. But I'm going to go on the corners here and just kind of go very light with it, Mainly, I just want to create a moment that it's not going to move. I'm just trying to concrete it down. But you want to be very careful with how much glue you use because, ooh, and up here. Because of the fact that you want your badge to still fit. My Dragon Con badge is somewhere around here. Somewhere. Okay, so I have a tool that I use. Where are you at? Ow! Nope, that's it. It's the tool that poked me. This is a sculpting tool that I stole from my husband. Yes, that's kind of I have things on my bags that are literally just for that. My mom got me a one of the fox or no, the red panda tails from the movie Red, and that hangs on my bag. So when I'm going through a store, if I start to feel my anxiety go up, I just start well, fondling the tail pretty much is all I can say about that. But I'm using this tool to just kind of spread the glue out because I don't want it really to go past the 1/8 because I still want that badge to fit. And that's what I'll do is once this is on. The good news is the glue that I'm using isn't a cement. So even if it even if it does go past it, the badge will win that fight. Okay. And this is just a temporary hold. I'm not concerned with too much of it being it's not meant to hold it. But this way, and I will let you know again, this is the first time I'm doing this. Oh no, no, no. And for these, I like throwing my clips on the ground. I do like using my longer puzzle piece. I do like using my longer clips. And making sure that everything is straight up here. It's my ruler. There we go. Okay, so mainly I'm making sure that everything is straight on top. And then I'll just move that down a little bit. There we go. And I'm just using the clips to help press on the glue. In the light. And that's going to help be able to, because when we sew these together, this is going to have to be on the bottom because you're not going to be able to have, this has to be on the top because of the bulkiness of the zipper pull in that. So by making sure, by giving myself a couple of extra things to make sure that the glue, that this doesn't move is going to help a lot. So I'm actually going to take just a little bit. Stay. Just going to take a little bit on this tool here. This is also the tool that I use when I'm doing my classic zip arounds because the glue stick has like a good chunk of glue. There's the little mechanism that holds the glue stick. Inside that little mechanism is a gold mine of glue, and it bothers me to waste it. So I dig it out and I just kind of like use it as paste along the edges when I'm doing the when I'm putting the lining on. I didn't do that this time with the carpet ones because that lining did not want to cooperate with the glue. And again, I'm making sure that the glue isn't going too far in. Let's see. And I'm wiping off any excess. And the best thing is now that this is pretty much ready to go, I can set it off to the side, and it'll give that glue a chance to set. And I'm going to put you over there for the time being, because then I can just peel the glue off. I store my glue like this upside down in my clip bowl. That way I don't have to sit there and, shake Sonora that stuff out. There we go. Okay, so now that side is all ready. So I'll set that over here. That is ready to go. When is it? It is 9 o'clock. All righty. So, fun time. I do need to put... You printed me a new one. It's so purple and blue. Okay. This side. All right. Now I have my zipper pull on, my tiny zipper. This is also a great project for your tiny zipper. Because this one is 5.5. So honestly, anything bigger than 5 inches of a scrap, save for these projects. You can even add like little secret pockets in places in your bags using this method, because it's a very, very easy method. Just make yourself a little tiny overlay, put it on the pocket, and then just go about its business. Alrighty. Because I have ideas and I really, really need them to stop. I'm missing a piece of tape. Like on the lens, if you've made the purse pal or anything with recessed pockets, like if you've made just about anything from Sonar, sorry, this is her main method. The Juno has the stacking method, which is also a nice one. Okay. So I have a piece of tape down here, 2 on my zipper. I don't have this punched. I'm not going to need to. Because I like putting tiny, tiny holes for these. Though I am. I'm going to put this on afterwards. That way I'm not fighting with it too. Then I have a piece of tape underneath. Now, what you can do to even more make sure that that tape is out of your sewing is put it up against the top of the pocket. So here's the bottom of the pocket. And then for like this one right here, you would put it against this top line. Oh, vinyl's fun. Vinyl, there's a lot of fun to be with vinyl, but there's also a lot of trial and error. So much trial and error, but that's with anything. That's why most of the people I watch on the tubes are folks that don't hide their mistakes, because it makes it more real and less, oh, they're failing upwards, which can be annoying. So I went ahead, because it's such a small pocket. Oh, I want my zipper going that way. I'm going to set my zipper resting right across the teeth, the zipper pull. And I've taken both paper backs off. Okay. Trying to decide if I like that, and I don't. With such a small pocket, I don't recommend doing the tear one side off and then tear the other, because it's just going to it's going to be a bother. Believe me, it's going to cause more trouble than it's worth. Yeah, candy cane, this is a really, really good project to start. Anything that's like tiny projects where you can just get like remnants somewhere, or like I have these Halloween sheets I came across. Like I could use this for a con goer. Just pick a nice little plain one to go on the other side type thing. And this is a little over 8 inches. So it's an 8x6. I obviously would need more than just that, but it's, you can pick up scraps and do anything like that you want. Okla Roots has a free pattern that's like gift card holders. So you'd be practicing and being ready for Christmas or for Teacher's Day. All right, let's see if I can get this to cooperate. Front looks good. The start looks good. And now the rest of it does. Must be the music. Okay. Okay. Normally I would start up here, go around, and then move the zipper pull up. The problem is that the way this needs to be added, and I do forget sometimes. So that's why I'm kind of, I can do these much quicker, only because of the fact that, like I said, I've done, like, at this point, this will probably be like my 100th one. If I like a pattern, I will do a bunch of them. So I'm put a piece of tape there, and we'll put a piece of tape here. Those new needles that I got from Tiger have been amazing. So I'm going to put them in the Amazon list. It's oh, there you are. You might go in the door instead. But it was 100 needles for $15. Candy cane, I do. This year I only did one. The other one was just at a poor time. So hopefully I'll be doing it next year. But this year, again, I'm at Dragon Con. Oh, yeah. I'm not showing you my eyes. I don't want you to see the screaming that's going on in there. Where's my... So I put a piece of tape on the top and bottom of the zipper. Oh, yes. I do want to do the mustard seed wallet. That's by Cherish something. Good Lord, words. This is not a fraying material. It doesn't fray at all. It's really wonderful. It's a reusable bag. If you have, I bet you if you bought reusable bags, you'd be able to cut them up. I might look at some of the ones I have because I maybe have a reusable bag problem. Okay, so it's going to go up towards the top. You're going to peel that piece of tape peel the paper off of the back of that piece of tape at the bottom of the zipper. So this is my bottom. This is my top. And we're going to make sure to center it. So what I do is I know exactly about, where I want that to go. A little past the end of the zipper. So what I do is I go up to the top and I make sure you're not trying to cover the holes. Moreover, you just want this to be nicely centered and straight. Perpendicular. And then I lift up to push down so that I'm not trying to push down where that zipper pull is, because that's not going to help you. There we go. Okay. Okay. So let me tell you about the time I tried to be more clever than this pattern. Because what you do is you sew the bottom part of the box, not across the top. And then you pull your threads through, and then you pull it from the machine. There is a way to do this without that. I'm not going to worry about showing you that tip right now because it does take some dexterity that I don't know if I have this morning. Cherishing Today. I think that's the name. Yeah, luckily, Candy Cane, I'm in Georgia, so it's not much of a travel for me. Even though if we move at any point, I will tell you right now, I will still be doing Dragon Con. I do very well at Dragon Con, and I absolutely love the vendors. I love the attendees. There's like a 10% of just people that, of course, you want to not be there. But other than that, it's really great. So I'm going to start right where I'm going to be wanting my stitching to end when I do the top. So 1/8 above the line where the top of the zipper is. I'm going to do Yahoo. Good Lord, listen to me. I'll move you over so you can see a little bit better. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I am back stitching because y'all know me by now. Definitely on this zipper, you want to have something, a screwdriver, stiletto, something that's going to push up your zipper teeth as you're sewing over them, because your foot is going to want to push them out of alignment. Tacos and day trip. Hey, we all have our we all have our levels that we can do. And I mean, this will be 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. This will be year 6 of Dragon Con. Technically 5 because 2020, of course, we didn't have one. They didn't have one. I'm going to move my zipper all the way up, though, even though it's going to bother me. I guess I could have started from the other end. That's okay. So I've been doing this long enough that I know what my limitations are, and I've been able to. Oh, okay, fine. Is that where I'm stopping, Tiberius? Is that what we're doing today? You're making the decisions? So again, I'm pushing my nail right up against that. You can use a screwdriver. Actually, I might do that so that my finger's not in the way. And so that I can do this. Mainly because I know those teeth are going to move. And I don't want the teeth to move, especially there. All right. Trying to decide if I messed this up or not. Let's see. Nope, because it didn't catch. Perfect. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to stop and start. So what I'm doing is I'm lifting up the card slot, the side of it. I'm pulling down, putting my foot down for a second. Because it's actually not as dexterously. So I'm using that line. I'm going to peel off the paper on my tape, push down the pocket, and then I'm going to fold that. That's another reason why I love this fabric, is it creases really nicely. Then I'm going to take this whole strip. Fight with it, of course. This is where having it off the machine would be a lot easier. And then I'm going to lift up again so that I have the strip of landscape fabric, your lining, your credit card lining pulled up, still at a nice perpendicular. And now I'm going to sew over it. Now, if I had cut this wider, I wouldn't be able to do that because of the fact that I went up the box. You can do, if you end up cutting it wider or your ribbons wider, then you wouldn't have to worry about it. But as you see, this is not wider than the zipper, and that'll be fine because even when it's open, the zipper is going to cover that. I had to really learn to trust this pattern with this measurement. This is the measurement she gives. It actually does work, contrary to the paranoia in my head. So with that pulled up, now I just go straight across. I'm going to do one more stitch. There we go. There we are. I'm just going to go across. Surprisingly match right up to my point. I promise you that has probably been the only time that has ever happened. I'm going to scoot you back now so that you can see better. I am going to cut my threads a little longer so that I can pull them to the back and then cinch them. But now you can see on the back that pocket is sewn in place. And again, you see that there's this bit. This bit made me nervous the first time I did it, and then I went wider. If you go on my Bayou, I always say Bayou, but that works. My link tree has it. It's technically called a candle lighter, but I use it as a thread zapper. Has a little like thing there, and it's rechargeable even. Heck, it uses the same charger as my phone, so I love it. I think one of them's on sale for like $6 right now. Sale goes back and forth. So that, yes, this makes me nervous. It always did. It still does naturally, but at the same time, you're not going to see it. So when you open and you go into it, now, if you don't like that little hole there, you can put a little glue here. But honestly, like I said, you're not putting anything hugely important into this that can go through those holes. You can, like, also, I will say, this is left open if you want it to be. The steps that I take, close it right up. Well, close it with tape at least. Let me see if I can get these threads to the back. Not back stitching always concerns me because I'm like, no, my knot's going to come out, or even if I melt it and push it into it, it's going to come out. It's going to fall apart. It's going to be the end of the world. I go into drama llama mode. It used to like drive my husband up a wall, but then he said he realized that it wasn't when I'm being dramatically over dramatic like that, when I'm in drama llama mode, it's because I'm just dealing with it. It's how I'm dealing with the anxiety of the situation. If I'm not being dramatic, then he might need to worry. Okay. I didn't quite need that piece of tape there. So you have a couple of options. Because of this little tight hole here that the zipper does, I can't do like I do with the bend and snap. I do all of them and then go back over. Melodrama as a coping. You bet your ass it is. It is my favorite. Because it's like I hear myself and I know I'm being ridiculous. And it kind of makes me feel better. It feels like it's being less, it's less world ending because I'm making it sound like it's world ending and it's not. So it does help a lot. Now, I'm going to go ahead. Where'd you go? And put my snap in. Yeah, I got to do it now. It's been a while since I did these. I think the last time I did them was for let's do that. I'm going to poke the hole. Well, yeah, that'll be fine. Let me just go ahead and poke that hole. And the reason I'm going ahead poking the hole before I put the fleece on is so I can mark it on the other side. Where are you at? There we go. And then I can put this little piece of fleece that is adhesive. There's no face. Exactly. Exactly. It makes it a little bit more fun to get through. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm going to kind of poke a hole. There we go. Because these are sharp enough to poke the hole themselves. I just wanted to make sure that I had the right spot. There we go. So you're putting the button side on the inside. There you are. Okay. Can't find my baby. I don't know and I don't know what. All right, where'd you go? There you are. For some reason, I really like this rounded edged part, and that's the one I usually put that's going to be exposed more. Oh, there you are. I'm like, all right, where'd the tool go? This also helps that I can just sit there and do this. Now, you can go through this part as well because you're going to be going over it anyways. I just kind of forgot. Okay, now before I go a step further, I take my other one and I'm testing that they clip together nicely. Oh my God, they do. Ooh. Making sure that this turns, because if this is too tight, then you might want to go back in and pinch it a little bit more. And making sure that when it comes off, that it's not pulling at anything. Okay, that looks good. All right, so away it goes. And we have, I almost said insertion. Good Lord, it has been a morning already. All right. If you're using a metal snap, I recommend doing this method where you cover the button so that it doesn't start to rub against anything. Come on, you. Okay, that's better. All right, so I have this up. So away from the zipper. Now I'm going to hope that the bobbin gods are kind to me. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Yes, no. Where's my... Okay, so I guess I'm using this one. So, it is the mightiest of struggles to stop and start at the same spot. So, I actually use washi tape. Because it means I don't have to worry about the marks not coming off, or in this case, I would use a silver marking pen. Those things can smudge on certain vinyls. I know it smudges like all smudgy hell on these, so on this vinyl. So I'm going to use washi tape. And I'm just going to put the tape right over the holes because I know that's where I like the lines to stop and start. Might have to go get that last of that tea that's in the fridge. Come on, you. Nope. Just making sure that's laying flat. That would work. Oh, I see you. Okay. I have one hole that is off just enough that I see it. Okay. So this will help keep the eye from seeing that hole being like a 32nd of a measurement away from something. It's like everything's here and this one hole is right here, right there. I see it because I see it. I also might be seeing it because sometimes I see things. You'll know how much of a fever dream that nonsense is. Okay. I'm trying to decide because I know that 3.5 should get me from point A to point B without having to place. So we're going to see if I remember that correctly. I'm going to start right at my tape. And I usually go either an 1/8 or a fat 1/8, not quite a quarter, just a little bit. Yes, which is why I have lines drawn all over the back of that. Good morning, Allie. I'm making the congoer. I should have grabbed the ones that I had to make, but I have no idea where those are. Those are in a container in the inventory shed. It's a convention badge holder that also has credit card slots. And a little tiny pocket. And that is the measurement. Fantastic. So for my machine, 3.5 means that I can go from washi tape to washi tape and not have to point it just right. So for some reason, I didn't backstitch. I got excited. It happens. Where are you? What are you doing? Stay. All right. I do pull the threads to the back, but I do pack stitch most of the time, it looks like. And then I just cinch them off. However, so that you can see both methods, I didn't backstitch here. So one of the reasons I don't do that is mainly because of the fact that I hate tying knots. My nails make that challenging to the point of me just wanting to go outside or go into a corner and eat cheese. Oh, this is a NewTek GS0303. It is a computerized walking foot industrial. Another reason I love these tweezers. We're pretty much doing a suture move here. This is how doctors generally tie off sutures when they're putting in stitches. So you take one thread, you wrap it around, and then you grab the other thread and you just pull it through that hole and then stitch it, and then stretch it. And then you just kind of do that a couple of times over. I did a video on this and somebody asked me if I was a nurse practitioner or if I was in medical school at any point. I'm like, nope. I just watched a lot of seasons of Nip Tuck. And then I clip them. Now, hopefully that knot stays. It should. It was a three knotter, 3-tie. It's a 3-tie. These are just backstitched. You don't have to, nobody's going to see the back of this. So if you want to leave all your threads long, leave all your threads long. It's fine. Nobody's going to see this. It is not you caring less about your customer. In fact, most of the time it's you caring more because of the fact that you, oh, where's my card? You're taking the time to make sure that these threads aren't going to come undone. All right. Now what you're instructed to do at this point is put a piece of tape down here. You measure up a certain mark, you put a piece of tape. I don't like using up that much tape, so I just crease. So let me see if I can get this here, because one of the things that happens, I don't know who you are. One of the things that happens is folks yank down, and when you yank down too hard, it pulls this and it gets this little like weird lip. Where is it? There we go. See? So it's going to pull down. And if you do that with all of them, they get weird and puffy. So you want, I'm going to grab my bone folder. When you pull this down, you don't yank it. What you do is you put your finger, and this is why I do a little more than 1/8. Is so I have a little lip right here. It's also why I don't put the tape right up against that line, because it does help you to have this little lip here. So what I do is you can use, your screwdriver or your stiletto, but you want to hold on to that lip and then pull tautly down and fold it. If you're using like a landscape material that you really, even ribbon, as long as you've got a nice crisp fold, you don't need that tape there. But you can use it. If the tape makes you feel better, use the tape. So, nope, I put it back. Oh, well. I had a tool on the floor that I forgot about. Where was my... there you are. Do not do this. This lip bothers me. And the tool I have to fix it is somewhere else. There we go. That's a little better. It's a little overkill, but it's also a little overdone. Leave it alone. Okay, so I have these card helpers that we 3D printed. So it's the shape of a credit card. It's actually a little bit bigger, which is good, because then that means that if it fits snugly in your cards, then you're good to go. So I put my card in. I set it where I'm going to want the card to be able to be pulled out, which is about 1/8 of an inch to the top. There are measurements. There are measurements in this. I pull the tape paper backing off of that. And then I hold the bottom. This is much easier without the zipper tape, without the zipper pull, and without the button. But mainly because of the size, because of this cut, you have to be really make sure that everything lines up within those holes so that you're still going straight up. Make sure that my card sits still where I want it. It does indeed. Take that out. I'm going to sew this way now. I'm going to sew it this way, just so that that's out of your way and you're not having to fight past seeing all the rumpled card slot here. Okay, so I make sure that I'm starting right at that tape. Right on it. Okay, that's fine. I backstitch once. Make sure that that's still centered where I want it. And then I pull my threads to the back. In fact, that's what I started doing. I forgot about that. I don't worry about cutting these because that is one thing I realized is that I'm going to end up putting tape there anyways. So why concern it? My husband loves his 3D printers. He has 3 now, 2 filament and 1 resin. And I'm trying to decide. He really wants the Saturn, the new Ultra one, because it's got this tilting from Elegoo. It's got a tilting method to it. So it really helps with stickage and stuff. It's really cool. I also wouldn't mind a Saturn because I named the Mars we have Ray after Sailor Mars. And then, of course, the Saturn would be Minako. Minako? Except Venus. Really bad with names sometimes. Yeah, that's Minako's Venus. Anybody remember Jupiter's name? It's been a while, and I have no memory skills at all anymore. Oh, luckily for the resin, we have it outside in a cabinet. He took a breakfast nook cabinet when we were living in the other house and made it to where he cut out a little hole, put a fan there, and then we bought a dryer thingamabob. Oh, what are those things? A dryer tube, so that he could go have it connect to the back of that cabinet and go out. And then he put some stuff that helps seal the door when it was closed. Makago, thank you. Told you. Makago. So yes, that is what I would name the Jupiter if we get it. But, and that worked really, really well. So that was like 100 for the Nook thing, 25 for the fan, and 5 for the dryer tube. So less than 150, and it is a good, and it has storage too. So he really, really liked that. So again, I'm going to put my nails right here. I'm going to lightly tug it down to where it's taut but not tight. Get that on there. I'm going to put the card in that slot. Okay, get that where I want it. Oh, there you go. That'll work nicely. Why is your sister hissing? God. Okay. So this time I clipped it. It didn't really work out as well as it should have. Sometimes what I do too is I put the zipper tape part off the table. Sometimes that helps. But that's not going to work. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I had a rhythm that I had at one point, but like I said, it's been a while since I made them. So we're pretty much just repeating this step over and over until, again, making sure that everything is lining up. It's another reason why I don't have the tape going like from side to side. I just have enough to get it going. Okay, just double checking, making sure I'm not missing any. Yep, there we go. Right there. I mainly start my stitch, back stitch, and then I put my non-sewing hand over the that, which is why I like sewing this way, so that my left can be on part of the wallet and part of the lining so that everything's kind of lined up still. Oh yeah. I mean, I've even got bad ribbons this year because I had a couple of ideas that I really wanted to do. So. And even then, I think I'm going to have to order more of the carpet one, of course. Here we go. Just pulling these threads to the back. Not fiddling with these threads does tend to save time. Move this. Oh, that's what I did. So I'm like, why am I fighting with this? I don't remember fighting with this thing so much. Hey, Cindy. I should be able to get your block out tomorrow. I'm so happy you like the gold. The gold's gorgeous. And I even tested it out in one of the wallets that I was making this past week or last week, just to make sure that everything fit. And yeah, Aaron thinks that when he went to put the engraving on, that it shifted and he didn't notice. So he and I had a small talk about double checking measurements. I'm like, mess up mine, that's fine, but don't mess up the customers. There we go. So I'm just rolling this up so that it's out of my way because, boy, is it just everywhere. Because I do these in long strips as long as I can get them. Like, I think this is a 2-yard strip. And that way, boop, I can just unroll it when I need it. So I've got those. So I'm going to go this way. I'm going to put my nails right there. And push that down. I'm going to use my bone folder to make sure that that's pressed well. Put my card. Where'd you go? There you are. I'll put my card in and then I'm going to take this piece of tape off. Okay, where are you at? And I'm using my nails. I know not a lot of folks will be able to do this, but I'm using my nails to just kind of feel where the edge of the card is and to make sure that it's about 1/8 from the top. I'm going to fold this here. So I gave that a good crease. Put that there. And then I'm just going to roll. Oops, come on, you. I'm going to roll this up. And then clip again to hold that there. And I'm going to flip it over. When you're first starting out with recessed pockets, before you sew the next one, test your previous. It's just always a good idea to do. Had I done that in the very beginning of doing these, I would have had less mistakes. This is actually not ribbon. This is a recyclable. It's one of the reusable bag fabrics that you can get. I got a 2-yard pre-cut from Joann's like 2 years ago. And I never used it. And then I was scrambling because I ran out of ribbon in the middle of a big order of these. And this actually fell on top of my head, literally from one of my shelves. Because I was like scrambling around to see what kind of fabric I might be able to get away with. And I'm like, no, because if I do fabric, then I have to interface it. I'm like, there's got to be some ribbon around here. I always have ribbon. And it fell on my head. I was like, well, I'm just going to take that as a sign from the universe. And it's been working out really nicely. So I tend to use it on all my recessed. I have been thinking when this runs out, I'm probably going to get a big old roll of landscape fabric, but I want a small piece to try because I want to make sure I like how it sews and feels and folds. Oop, that's not going to help me get those out. So yeah, every time I do a line, it'd be even funnier if I had the 80s on. Every time I sew a line, I just pull the threads to the back and I just let them go. They're just going to stay wild. Yeah, I'm really curious because like $30 and I can get. Oh, thank you, Revan. That would be really sweet. Because like Sam's has, especially in the spring, they have this like gigantic roll of it, like 2 feet. Not 2 feet. Good Lord, how much was it? It's like a huge roll. So it's like 36 yards by, I want to say 72. So the roll itself, because the roll was as tall as my husband. So that would be like 6 feet. So that would be 2 yards wide by 36 yards. I don't know when I'd forget about having that much and probably run out without realizing it. Okay, so I'm actually going to unroll this a little bit so that I don't come into that same problem I had. Yeah, that's much easier when you have a good chunk of this just to roll it up. And then you can store it too. Because say you ran out here. Like this was the end of your stitch, of your fabric. There's the word. Hi, Carol. 50 feet by 3 feet for 15. Well, hello. If I like that landscape, I might be doing that. But if you run out here, the best thing about this being in the back and that is you can just get another chunk, another line of it, sew them together, butterfly them open so that they and then stitch those flat so that they lay flat, and then just go about your business. Because that's what I do. And it saves you from having all these little scraps everywhere or having to measure how many you need. Let me see. There it is. Okay. So again, we're going to pull. So right under here, again, is where I'm pinching. This I'm making sure to show every time because it's very important. To me, the way they sit starts with how well you don't pull at your vinyl here, because that just stretches it. And remember, vinyl's not really a self-healing thing like fabrics. This comes pre-cut on a huge roll. Nice. Maybe that's something I'll offer through Chub or through Fat Rabbit. I'll get just a giant roll and do it myself. We'll see. Why am I hungry? Because all I've had is that stupid breakfast sausage. So I'm going to take a quick moment, check my previous pocket. It's good. Come in here. I know that's about where it is, so that's perfect. Take off my tape. And I said it on my last live, but the only way to get really good at a pattern is just to do it a bunch of times in a row. Get that muscle memory going. Where are you going? Okay. I almost unwound just the right amount. I'm going to move that up there. Boop. So again, I'm making sure, where are you? That the lining is straight. It's a little wonky here and there, but as long as it's going straight up, it's fine. But if you cut out, like seriously, get the bitty. If you have not gotten that bitty bug pack, I don't know why. It is the most adorable thing ever, and it's so fast. But just cut out 10 of them and do them. I promise you. First of all, you'll be happy that you went ahead and just cut out 10 because your afternoon then is just done. You know, you're not going to have to worry about doing anything else. Oop, where are you going? So I cut out 10 of them. By the end of those 10, you will feel extremely better about that pattern. And your muscles will automatically know what they need to do when you start that. But it is harder to do on larger projects. Sometimes, like the bitty pack, you can obviously, you can just cut out 6 of them. You'll be fine. Cut out 20 of them. I'm just going to keep adding to that number every time I talk about them. But for things like, say, the Erica from Aura Rosa, or the Magdalene. If you're like, you're like, this year, no matter what, I'm going to find a way to get better at the Magdalene. Do not start with the mini. The smaller the circle, the harder it is. That's why when I make the same thing, like when I make the same pattern, I don't make the same thing. Like I don't have one bag that is exactly alike. I have changed something, the hardware, the way the pattern sits. You know, there's always something different about it. And that's really, you're just gonna make me use this tape up, huh? All washi tapes are not equal, just so you know. Some are great, some are terrible. I have also found that sometimes it's easier to plan for a bunch of them and then cut them out individually. Like make one, cut it out. Make another, cut it out. Cut out another one, you know. That will also help with your muscle memory. For some reason, I hate making simple things over and over. I'm going to throw the hate word out. I just hate making zipper pouches. A zipper pouch will make me burn a town down. And that is because there is no challenge to it. It's like telling somebody you're going on a hike and walking down your street 5 houses. That's not a hike. That's a stroll. That's a lovely afternoon. I mean, not for me because I'm outside walking, but you know, it's a lovely afternoon for some folks. Don't say we're going on a hike and you're just taking me to the Circle K that's not even a block away. Don't do that. I will come for you. No, but I don't know why I'm using hiking because I hate going outdoors if I don't have to. I love the outdoors. I love it through my window, but it's probably the best way to describe it. So a zipper pouch is a lovely stroll that is been just, it's nothing to me. Whereas, you know, the Erica can be this beautiful complex. Like now the Erica doesn't really, I don't even want to call it a humble brag. It's just the truth. It's just my truth. The Erica holds no challenge for me. I think I've gotten every piece and every part of the design and every part of the process down to a science, down to exactly how I want it. Where are you at? There we go, right there. And to me, that's fine. I still love making them. But now it's like I need something different. And I love a challenge, but at the same time, I also have to think about the production of something. So every time I go to buy a pattern, I have to watch it. I'm hoping I can watch a video on how it's put together so that maybe I can see, is this going to be can I turn this into a production bag, or is this just going to be something I make every once in a while? I don't do them on the book. I am one device. Excuse me. I'm one device short of being able to do that. And until StreamYard doesn't tell me I can only do 20 hours a month on the free plan, sadly, that is where I am. Okay, but look at that. What time is it? It is 10 o'clock. We can get this done. That's not a problem. I just got to find my pinky shoes. Because we're just about done here, actually, which is good because I'm hungry and that pizza is calling my name. So what I will do is, no matter how big the scrap, I just kind of keep it clipped like this, and I keep it in a drawer that I will forget about later probably, but hopefully not. I keep it in one of the project drawers. And when I do another one of these, I'll just pull this out and use it. And hopefully it's either enough or I have to sew some more. Yeah, because I bought a pattern from Blue Palette that y'all almost had top news at 9 story coming about me burning down a whole town because I was upset. And I tried the pattern 3 times, and it wasn't the pattern. It was definitely me. I just didn't like making it. I also don't care for the Rosie. I don't like the construction of it. Folks love that bag. I'm so glad because it's an adorable bag. But that gusset makes me violent. That gusset makes me feel like I chose violence when I woke up. I'm just putting up some tools real quick. Okay, you go back over there so you can... Okay, now I can get in and out of my drawers without problems. Maybe. Because I will need this. That's what I was going for. So I'm happy that some folks love that bag because I don't want the designer because I love the Aries. But there's just something about the Rosie that... But I love the 3D pocket and the way the back is constructed. Love those. So what I have done is I have taken the Rosie and I've taken the Simplistic and I made them do a ditto and form a baby. And I love that baby. I love how it came out. It's almost a brand new pattern. I'm so glad somebody else agrees with me. Well, I was going to say other things, but it seems like that wasn't going to work well either. So my brain is weird today. So I have obviously too much zipper on both sides. So I want to make sure that I get close to my stitching. Normally I don't go too close to the stitching. I leave it hang off as long as I can. But I don't want to sew through this zipper. Trying to think if I have one around here because I did one for my strikes for Cosmic with the rainbow stripes. That one came out really good. I wonder if I should auction that bag off too. We'll see because I love that bag. But it has, I designed the pocket with that whole puff out like the 3D does. And then I did the back the way the Rosie does. But then everything else I did like the Simplistic. And use the shape of the Simplistic. That way it really... Oh, that's what I'm going to do, though. I'm putting my zipper in the middle right now. A little bit off so that I can do this side first. And so that it's laying flat. I don't know why I have such a visceral reaction to that gusset. But boy, howdy. Aaron came home to me cursing. He's like, somebody doing something stupid in your book? I'm like, no, somebody doing something stupid at my machine. He usually knows it's a good guess that I'm screaming at my book. I'm very vocal about what people do in the books and the podcast. Like, what are you doing? I like I said, I do not care for that gusset. I know some sewists that are like, oh, I love the shape of it. I do too. I wouldn't have bought the pattern if I didn't like the shape of it. Heck, I wasn't going to buy much for backstitch, but then she's like, hey, if you do all this money in backstitch, you'll get the pattern. I spend that just looking at backstitch. Let's go. That's why I save up for backstitch. I literally have a separate saving account called my backstitch account, because I know when they drop the next vinyl run, I know what I'm going to do. I know I'm going to make poor choices, and I'm going to be okay with them. Hey, buddy. Morning, Mama. Kanani. There you are. So I do have a piece of tape, the length almost a little bit shorter than the whole gusset. What I'm going to do is I'm taking my tape, I'm putting it at the top. And then as I go down, I'm going to push on this. You following a squirrel there, mister? Tax. Thank you. And pushing down. So this is going to help keep that a little bit flatter. It's also going to help to seal up that pocket, and it's going to keep all my threads out. So once I have that tape down, I do take my snips at this point and make sure all of my threads are pulled completely out. Nothing's curled under. And then I just kind of give it a little trim, a little bit of a haircut. Oop, nope. A very good barber, apparently. Here we go. Okay, then I'm going to close back up the zipper so that I can go on this side and have it nice and flat. Take my other piece of tape. Now you're like, but Liz, you didn't take the tape off the back of that. Why didn't you just use your paper tape? Because I'm going to make this tape do double duty. I am forcing it to push down, like, see how much flatter that is? Boy, that's curling a little bit. There we go. Yes, sir. Thank you for your visit and paying your kitty tax. You'll get treats later. I think poor choices happen with everybody with that bitch. I still have the box for my latest one sitting here. The good news is I've used some of it at least. But it's still pretty full. Oh, the ideas that I have for stuff in here. Oh, well, technically this wasn't from them. This was from a D-stash. Because it's a marshmallow world. Ooh, maybe that'll be my... I've been trying to think of what I wanted my summer bag to be. And I really want to do the Coupeville from Ora Rosa because it's so freaking pretty. And I think I might use this as the panel for it. Either it's a marshmallow world or just a marshmallow girl living in a marshmallow world. Because I like marshmallows and fluffy and soft, but burn me and I will burn your mouth. Oh, I think I like that idea. I even have the matching vinyl for it. It's just a smooth vinyl instead of the hatch, but I couldn't resist that in the D-stash. I have a problem. Y'all know I have a problem. All right, so we're going to haircut the other side. Oop. There we go. Now we have everything nice and secure. It's a little bit flatter. Except, of course, where the zipper is. It does this little weird thing there, but it'll be fine. So, what I'm going to do is find my tape. I'm going to take small pieces. I'll give you an idea. So, I just cut about a 2-inch piece. I'm going to cut that in half. I'm going to put one piece up here and one piece down here. Trying to keep out of my stitch line. There we go. And I do have overhang. Don't worry about that. I'm just going to fold it back up when I pull off the tape. So now we get to a symbol. It's Avenger time. I'm going to take another piece of tape. Maybe. Dear Lord in heaven, do I have to buy tape again? Yeah. I just opened my 1/8, which means I need to buy more tape. That's okay. I need more blue thread anyways. I've already got a wah-whack basket going. All right. Now, I would have preferred 1/2 inch, but I forgot I was going to do this. There we go. So the 1 inch is fine. It'll slide a little bit. You know what? It'll slide a little bit. So let me see. I have an idea. So what we're going to do is, where are you? This is why I keep random pieces. Well, let's do that. Here, come here, come here, come here, come here. Son of a motherless goat. Give me the... Oh, that's not going to work. I don't know why I thought that was going to work. All right, so what I'm going to do... Oh, okay. I saw a tag, and I'm like, why is there a tag down there? Or just a random tag? Anyways. No. Just going to cut maybe this in half. Put that aside. This is why I need a little jar to put these itty bitty little pieces in. So I'm going to put this piece of Decoville Light right over, maybe, there we go. So I'm putting a little piece of Decoville Light right there. That's going to be where the hook is sitting, because I'm going to make sure no matter what. Yep, cut that off, that'll be fine. Okay. So what that's going to do is that means that when this slides around, it's not going to rub up against the vinyl. It's going to rub up against that piece of Decoville Light. I was going to do a piece of Decoville Heavy, but I think that was going to bulk it too much. And I'm not worried about sewing it because I'm going to put it like right up against. I'm going to put it as close as I can in this. So it will still, like I say, wiggle around a little bit, but it's not going to do any damage to it. So, ta-da! All right. Now what we need to do is, now we're assembling. So we need our convention pocket, our cards. I don't know what the hell to call this thing. Card holder, card secure, this thingy with the button. For me, I also need my swivel glass. As I said, what you normally do, so I'm going to put, which is what I do anyways, I'm going to match that up, and then what you're supposed to do is put the pull on and then fold it over, and you're going to sew across there. I don't like that this gets moved up and down. Card strap, that might work, to the point that it could pull at threads. And if it pulls at threads and you don't notice it, then it's going to eventually let that swivel hook go the way of the dodo. So I like having a separate piece, and it uses this little piece of waste right here. Tammy, I am making the con goer from Beauty and Geek patterns, and it's going to have this little guy. Boop. So now I've got that on there. So I'm going to pull this piece of tape up. The thing I don't do is pull it like that. I kind of... Okay, so I take it and I pull this a little out. And that way, if it's full of cards, it has room to bulge out a little bit with all the cards. But I don't want to do it that much. There we go. So it's just about an eighth. It's just got about an eighth of an inch up from there. Just need to make sure that that is straight though. Again, don't worry about how straight your the back piece is, because you're not going to see it. So, ta-da! And then I don't know why I put the tape away. I know very well how much tape I use on this. Nope. There we are. So then I take a smidge piece and I put it on one side of my swivel, and I take another smidge piece. So smidge is about 1/2 inch, by the way. And then I put it on the other side. The reason I'm putting it on both sides is I'm going to undo one side of it. So take off the paper. Look at how this looks. Nope. Nope. What are you doing? Come here. There we go. So I press it in. And then I'm going to take that piece off when I'm putting everything together. I'm going to say this twice. Double check the orientation of everything before you sew. Once again, double check the orientation. It's kind of easy. So once you have this set up, again, make sure that that's all oriented properly. It's a little difficult to do that, but listen, I have talents when it comes to messing things up, and it was a day when you put the clip somehow up this way. So once again, double check the orientation. So once this orientation is good, then you know that your orientation, so the pocket top needs to be with your swivel clip or whatever you're using to clasp on. I use D-rings, but I like the swivel clip because it means that you can like snack it onto anything. And yes, definitely the voice of experience. Okay, so what I'm going to do is start lining everything up. As I said, you are going to have to sew with this facing down. So what we're going to do is hopefully the glue has done what I wanted to do. Yes. Oh, yeah. So I had put drops of glue and kind of smeared them just within, hopefully, my, yep. Ooh, and then I went and the glue, however, is not like permanent. It's mainly just to kind of tack it in place. And I would use tape, except I would have to get itty bitty little pieces of tape. Like 1/16 wide. Oh, I'd be so happy with 1/16 wide tape. I might have to see if I can get that manufactured. Don't put up your clip. Okay, so at this point, I have this lined up. It's got a little bit of glue basting to it. As long as I don't mess with it, it should be fine. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. Yes, I simulcast so that everyone can check it out later on. Which y'all have like doubled my subscribers in the last month, which I super duper appreciate. So I have taken, I've taken the back of the tape off. And I'm going to put that, I'm going to match up a corner and then match up another corner the best I can. And then I'm going to go gently in to that good night and start clipping on that side only. There's a good chance you're going to end up even with cutting it with SVG, you could still end up with your sides and everything not matching. So it's okay if it doesn't. That's what trimming's for. Y'all will see me doing some trimming. Oh yeah, that was and then not knowing if you can get it put up. So I pulled the other paper off, and I'm just going through. See, that's why I said I like using the double-sided tape, because I'm going to be using double-sided tape anyways to kind of get everything to hold together. Mother of God, I forgot. Hang on. I gotta pull this tape. Goodness. Just enough coffee water left. Where are you? There you are. Okay. What we're going to do is this. I think I'm just going to put this right here and let it hang out. Normally what I was doing with my... No, I don't like that. I don't like that. So we're going to do this. Okay, that'll work. It'll kind of go through the name Chubby Bunny, but it'll still have most of the logo, so that's fine. Or I could cut a new one. I don't know if it would work. Hang on. Oh, please. I need to see if... Oh, because here's some... Yeah, that would work. Okay, so sadly I have to... I'm using these vinyl ones that I did because I didn't design them quite right. I didn't design them with a sewing area in mind, so that's definitely on me. I still love them because they're so pretty and shiny. Let's go up this way. Okay, that should be enough. But without that sewing area, it makes it kind of awkward. So I've been overcutting so that I can like stick things in, and then you would see it like that. The problem is if I do just like stick it in here and let its freak flag fly, you see that side with nothing on it, and I don't like that. What this will do is first let me round the corners. It just looks prettier that way. Okay, now I only have to round the bottoms, but now what I'll be able to do... So if I were to put it in the way I am now, I would be sewing right through the words Chubby Bunny. Whereas if I do it like this, let me scooch that down just a smidge. There we go. That'll do. If I do it like this, I'm not sewing through it, but I do need a piece of tape because it is being unruly. There you are. So sadly, I have to use my 1/8. I try to keep my 1/8 for just zippers. Might not need 2 pieces. I just need it to stay still. Okay, there we go. Okay. So I really don't want to sew through the word Chubby Bunny. I want to sew above it. Above it. Oh, I'm gonna need stronger clips for this part. Okay. Now everything else looks good. Just putting some clips just in case. Boop. Okay. So now I have it all clipped together. I've got my logo over there. I don't put a metal logo on here because I don't want to make the cost worse. What I'm thinking of doing is getting tiny metal logos that I can just put on that have like maybe my face etched into it, or just the words, just a little tiny Chubby Bunny Studios. So that's a little circle one, something to that effect. Or I can just redo these, but I like just putting a metal tag on. It's just so much easier. Don't got to think about these things. Okay. Now, I am going to sew around at 1/8 of an inch. Then I'm doing a second round at 1/4 of an inch. It's been a while since I've looked at the pattern. There's a good chance she has you do this. I just don't remember. But again, you have to go from, you have to put your pocket on the flat side because, or on the bottom because it's flat. Otherwise, stuff's going to maneuver weirdly and it's not, you're not going to like it. All right, everybody pray to the bobbin gods for me here that that I have enough to finish this project and that it doesn't stop in the mid like it has before. I start in the middle at the very bottom because I backstitch. I'm going to go back up to 4.5 though. I know there's curves, but I don't want to perforate this vinyl. There's a lot of layers for it to pull at. So the way, by the way, the way I know to do my curve, hang on, I'm going to get them a little bit in closer. There we go. Maybe this way, this way. There we go. Oh, good. Nobody's blocked. So, so here's the curve. Here's your foot. So when your foot goes over the curve a little bit, that's when you want to pivot to match your side again. If you're using the side of your foot. So as you're curving, as you're going around that curve, once your foot goes over, like it's going to go off the trail, that's when you pivot. And that's how you'll get a nice curve follow. Oh, tube, you might actually be in the way there. I'm going to have to move you. I don't want to move you in the way of everybody else. Not that I do, deal. Dropping things. That goes back up there. Okay, so everybody's got a pretty good, you know what? I might actually be able to. Okay. So hopefully I'm not too loud for the tube, as the microphone is right here. You'll really be able to see what I'm talking about too here on the replay. So, see how my foot, I'm going to take my sewing foot off. I'm putting my finger right near the sewing foot, and I'm like, maybe I should take my foot off the pedal when I do that. So see how the foot is starting to come, like it's going to go straight ahead instead of around that curve? That's when you want to move your foot. Also see there that I have some overhang. Let's make sure two things. We got to make sure that our hardware is out of the way. And then at this point, you want to make sure that your, what is this thing? Card slot helper holder thing is also pulled off and unbuttoned. There we go. Where are you? It's a good place to use your hump jumper. If you don't have a hump jumper, I do sell them on fatrabbitsupplies.com. I highly recommend having one. I was an Avid. Now I can just use a rolled up whatever. Now that I have one, I'm like, well, poop. So right before I go uphill, I'm going to help by leveling the field and going over because nobody wants to walk uphill. And then I'm going to come back over, put it right at it, Oh, where are you going, Tiberius? You do not know better than me. Okay, so see, again, right where I'm about to come out, I'm going to curve, lift, and just keep lining my foot up. Ooh, almost went a little overboard. You do not have to do a second set of stitches. All right, where are you at? Oh, November Rain. I'm like, is somebody playing a bloody Christmas song? Because it is Summerween right now, but it is never Christmas in July for me. Christmas is not my thing, and that's fine. I like it when it's Christmas. And on vinyl, especially if you have a walking foot machine like this, you really want to lift your foot a little bit. Oh, thank you, Hannah. Appreciate that. And sorry, too, I know that might have been just like right in your ear. Do ASMR and whisper. Anyways, once I get to that stitch, I back stitch a little bit, and then I do not pull it off and start over. I pick up my needle. I'm going to move those threads out of the way because they're in my way. I'm going to lift my foot and then just go up and down a little bit. What that's going to do is make that jump stitch impossible to see and dang near impossible to cut, and that means that this will not come undone. So I go over and then I go forward a little bit, or I push the fabric back like it's going to be sewn, and that tightens where that jump stitch is. And then we're just going to go around again. Now, it's going to be tempting to just like zoom around because, hey, it's like stitched together, right? Be wary. Make sure that you're going 1/8 of an inch from your stitches, not 1/4 from the edge. It's going to look much better if your stitches are totally in line with each other. If you know, it's 2 parallel lines, it will look much, much better. It's what I use when I do straps and stuff on the Ora Rosa bag. So again, I'm going to put my screwdriver away for a moment. I'm going to find the thin side. By the way, the Hump Jumper has 2 sides because it has a thinner side and a thicker side. So that helps a lot. I'm going to go over, and then right when we get to having to go uphill, we're going to help it out because I believe that it's like me. It doesn't really want to walk up that hill. Like the first month we lived in this new house, I was like, Circle K's just up the street, literally, not even a block. And this is what I was talking about earlier. Not even a block away. Cool. I'm gonna walk over there. Can somebody tell me why I was sweating like nothing else in winter getting there? Oh, because I didn't realize that the hill going there is this. It is a steep hill. A steep hill. I was so mad. Because I came back and I was just like making traction coming back because I was going downhill. So let me see what I do, because see right here, I'd be going over the chubby bunny. I think one line is fine. I'm actually going to pull my tag back and carefully go beside it. Start my curve. And then let the tag come back down. Sometimes those tags really don't like being sewn over 1,000 times. Oh, so I have a computerized industrial. And I'm going to move you back. You've seen it. I'm going to put you over there. There you go. That work? Maybe up a little bit. There you go. Sorry. Okay. It's a computerized. It's from a company called NewTek. It's the GS0303D4. Sometimes I forget to say the D4. I don't know if it matters. I do not know what 90% of these buttons do over here, but I do know that, yeah, it automatically starts and stops with the needle down. I even have a little button that just pushes the needle up. The only time I hand turn is when I'm doing appliques and I need them to go into a certain place. Okay, so we are going to carefully singe off these threads. So what I do sometimes is I'll singe it, and then as it's melting, I'll use the side to push down, and that kind of flattens it a little bit too. I will say I'm on the hunt for a computerized cylinder arm. That is my dream. I will know no true happiness until I find one and it is mine. That's my dramatic. All right, and we're done. I'm telling you, this goes together nice and quick. I didn't worry about it, but if you don't put glue here on these, you want to make sure when you're sewing around that you're double checking that that these don't move. But I will say that little bit of glue is really nice. I know I've seen it on the floor recently too. I have a badge that I just don't remember what I did with it. Some of my ribbons are over here, but my badge has just, the fairies must have taken it too. Fairies? Oh, what's this? Is that a badge? No, it's not a badge. Is that a badge? Nope, that's a little bat. No, that's a little kitty bat. That's not a badge. I was hoping I had one lying around, which I know I do because I keep them because I love them. Especially, I have one that. So the first year I did indie pop, it was because someone couldn't do it, and they sold me their artist table, and it was my first out of state. Yep, this fits a convention badge. It even fits a Dragon Con one, because you bet your ass I made sure. Because I was a tester for this, and when it didn't fit the Dragon Con one, I was like, well, I have to widen mine. And she's like, oh, I'll fix that then. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. She's like, that's the whole purpose of this. So when I was at Indie Pop, Will Wheaton was there, and I've met him before. I gave him a cupcake. He to his manager's chagrin, shoved it just straight in his mouth. Because his manager's like, I don't know if you just want to eat food given to you by a fan. And he's like, I'm hungry. And just shoved the whole thing in. It was not a small cupcake. It's a big cupcake. Like, I made these cupcakes. But he was at Indie Pop, and I was excited that I might get a chance to go say hello again, or at least, be that weird fan. And he was on the VIP guest badges. And I had a customer, I had a congoer come by, and she was like, oh, I love your badges. I'm like, well, they're the vendor badges. Yeah, Will Wheaton. I love him. He's Space Brother. But theirs had Will Wheaton. I was like, oh man, I love yours. And she's like, well, at the end of the convention, if you're still up for it, I'd love to trade you badges. And I'm like, done. We can do it now. She's like, well, mine gets me into stuff that I think even the vendor badges does. I'm like, truth. Okay. So Sunday, I will see you Sunday. And I thoroughly expected them not to come by Sunday. Like, we forget things sometimes. Makeup, children, all types of things. So lo and behold, Sunday she came by. She bought a wallet. She bought one that I was like really happy somebody loved it, because it was llama fabric with lime green glitter vinyl. And it made me so happy that somebody loved that combination too. But she came by, she bought the wallet, we traded badges, and I was like in heaven. Like the only thing that would have made that convention better was if I'd had a chance to actually leave my booth to go see Will. But it was my first out of town convention and I did really well. The only thing that really sucked was the ending up being 16-hour drive home from Indianapolis. All right, you in Tennessee and you in Kentucky, Lexington, apparently I'm talking to you. Y'all have problems. Why didn't you just go? In Atlanta, going through there, I was able to hatch a 10K egg. We were crawling at just the right speed that I hatched a 10K egg. I shouldn't have been able to do that. Oh, you got to hug him. Let me see. Oh, this pattern it's in my bio. It's by Beauty and Geek, but it's in my link tree for today's pattern. And I might need to stop trimming because what I'm doing is looking for pieces that are not matching up and then lining my scissors over and doing it. But you want to be super careful that when you flip over that your cut from the other side didn't go at an angle. You want to try to go as straight as possible. This one is really difficult to do a cut with, what is it? A rotary blade. There's just so much stuff. So you just kind of have to trust. And if you're not 100% sure that you like how it looks, you can always edge coat it. My friends try to get me to watch Home Alone every year, and I tell them that I won't watch astronomically dumb fiction. And it's just because I don't understand how she forgot a child. But I don't have kids, so maybe that's the thing. I just have cats. No problem, Katie. Have a good day. All right, speaking of going, I think this is about time where I get going. Saturday. So, Saturday, I will either be doing an eat-a-bag in the middle of batch sewing. We'll see. I will definitely be showing off the strikes and what I got from Cosmic because I know that y'all, I think she wanted to do a pickup for this. So that's done. That's nicely off my list. That makes me happy. I've had kids, you can forget them or be like, maybe I'm not as attached as I wanted to be to this one. I don't know. Oh no. You know, the friends that want me to watch it again, they're parents. Maybe they're just trying to show me a part of their world. Have a good one, Tammy. Thank you, Casey. I am very happy with how it came out. Yeah, these are easy to churn out. They're quite simple to get going. I know a lot of folks get really scared of the recessed pockets. Nothing to be scared of. You can either go through measurements or, like I said, get some card helpers. Miscommunication will get you every time. That's why I repeat things. Mostly because I assume people aren't listening to me. One day I took the full day to count how many times I got interrupted. And let's just say that halfway through the day, I should have been burning a city down. I was so angry. And it was hilarious because it's when I worked at Disney. And I was outside smoking. I don't anymore. So, and I was talking and somebody interrupted me. So I took out my little notepad and I put a little tick. And one of my managers is like, I've seen you doing that all day. I'm like, well, you've seen me doing that all day because all day everybody's been interrupting me. So he's like, oh, shit. Yeah. He's like, do you want a day in the back room? I really do. Just leave me alone. Let me, because at least the hangers won't interrupt me. My own thoughts interrupt me. You're like, oh, okay. I was just enjoying quiet time. Hey, do me a favor, forget me again, and I'll let you know. All right, because this is bothering me. I didn't check the top pockets. I just want to make sure. I didn't remember checking the top pocket, but I do like to make sure that everything's sitting right. Okay. I need to make an announcement on Dragon Con that I need all American Dad cosplayers to come and say hello to me, because I need to find more American Dad fans. I need them in my life. All right, it's starting to get warm. All right, well, I'm going to go. I'm going to get some lunch. Then it's nail time. Ooh, nice. Get to get my nails done. I think we're going to go with a starry night. I saw somebody do a matte navy blue and some stars. I think I'm going to do that. But it is sun tea time and leftover pizza. So I will see y'all Saturday. So goodbye to the Instagram first. Bye, Bo. Even if they're not there, I'm going to say goodbye. Okay, and then I'm going to turn on this mouse that I may or may not have thrown across the room at one point. And we are going to end stream on the Tubes of You